Hello, everybody. All right, so happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day today. We wait a few more minutes to give people a chance to come in. Um, Hope everybody had a chance to catch the show. If you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. We'll try to answer the best. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. Um, Anyways, let's see. Oh, hey, JR. JR Exner's here. And Shadowhawk too. Okay. Hail Xenu and Xena. Hail Mike. Hey Shadowhawk. Hey JR. So you guys are here now. Like I said, if you guys can like and share the stream, see if you haven't already, you can help bring in more people. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here we talk about grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. Anyways, any Rick updates? Um, no, I mean I saw him in person at the con over the weekend. Other than that, as far as I know, if he's not home yet, he's probably en route home. Um, so but I guess we'll see if he decides to. Actually, I did. I think I did see him pop into um, Metal's stream earlier. I think I saw his name in the chat there. So, he'll shut. Anyway, so we got a couple people in here. So, and why it's still showing only one person viewing is beyond me. There should be 3 people showed as viewing. But anyways, But anyways, I guess I'll get it since we have some people in here now. I'll go over what's on tap for tonight. So I'm going to go over 3 articles, anime related tonight, just because we got some upcoming releases coming out. The news, the anime side of it's going to be picking up here pretty quick as we get into October and we get into the fall release schedule for anime. Also, of course, the wrestling wrap up and this day in Niche history. Also, don't forget this Friday, Metal will be joining me as my co-host, as we'll be looking back to comics that went on sale in December of 1939 from the company that would become known as Harvey eventually. Speed Comics Volume 1, Number 5, and Champion Comics Volume 1, Number 4. So with that, why don't we go ahead and get started articles then? And he is. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's four likes and 4 people watching. Okay, that's better. Alrighty then. So, somehow, let's see now. Let me try that again. I've been goofing a little bit there. Alrighty then. So, anyways, now we've got all that cleared up there. Alright, so let's get into articles here. All right. All right. So, Viz Media censors lewd dialogue related to Giselle Guel um, from global localization of Bleach Thousand Year Blood War. Okay, this is the latest arc from the Bleach series that they're doing here. Article at Nerdigans Inc. published back on the 16th, which was Saturday, I believe, this past Saturday, in the anime censorship manga. So, in displaying their usual level of disrespect for Japanese media, Viz Media's localization of Bleach Thousand Year Blood War has been discovered to have replaced two instances of lewd dialogue relating to cross-dressing um, Stern Ritter Giselle Guel with more politically correct alternatives. Adapted from Tite Kubo's manga, Bleach Thousand Year Blood Wars, second part, also known as The Separation, consists of the Quincy King Yawak second invasion of the Soul Society. Among the many new combatants to enter this war is the aforementioned Giselle, a devil-may-care Sternritter, whose ability to control anyone who happens to get his blood on them has earned him the moniker of Z or Zombie. In addition to his ability to manipulate his enemies, Giselle also sets himself apart from his fellow Sternritters through his penchant for cross-dressing, choosing to regularly present himself as feminine as possible. And despite the protestations and cries of many a terminally online Bleach fan, Giselle is in fact a man and not transgendered by any definition of the word. During a 2022 Q&A session held with members of his eponymous fan club, Club Outside series creator Tide Kubo was directly asked, quote, could it be that Giselle is actually female, unquote, to which he clarified, quote, Giselle is a guy, unquote. Another instance where basically the creator of the property clarifies to everybody what the character is. We saw it, of course, with Yamato in the One Piece manga and anime. Unfortunately for fans, Viz Media once again let their own activist desires get the best of them, and in doing so completely overwrote Kubo's original intention for Giselle's eventual gender confirmation. But despite the fact that he said otherwise, they still want to push this character as transgendered. Good job, West. The scene in question originally appears in the middle of the series' 588th chapter, The Headless Star 7. Per a translation of the chapter provided by Accuracy dedicated fan group Colored Manga Translation Squad, CMTS, I guess, attempting to bait the Shinigami Ikaku into cutting him and allowing him to turn, I guess, or in turn, I guess, use his powers. Giselle presents herself as nothing more than an quote, unarmed innocent girl, unquote, or himself, I guess, in the hopes that his behavior will seem so out of place that the opponents will feel compelled to strike first and take the Stern Ritter off the board. Unfortunately for the blood manipulator, and what has a known uh, become known among fans as his most iconic moment, at as at this most iconic moment, Ikaku's partner Yumichika doesn't bite. Instead, responding to Giselle's taunts by revealing that not only not only does he see straight through this scheme, but also his attempt to hide his gender. Quote, a worthless act, unquote, asserts the Shinigami. Quote, and while we're at it, allow me to expose another one of your acts. You referred to yourself as an unarmed girl, in smaller quotes, but now, just now, but you're a man, aren't you? With Giselle left stunned by his accurate deduction, Yumichika explains to the Stern Ritter, quote, you may think you have concealed it, but frankly, you stink of semen. Now that's funny. Oh boy. Ah. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, you are a guy. And how I know you're a guy? Because you stink of semen. 580th chapter. That makes Wheel of Time seem restrained. Well, yes. Well, I mean, you think that's long? The One Piece manga, from what I understand, is well over that, close to 1100 chapters, from what I understand. So there you go. However, in their subtitled localization of the scene's anime adaptation, as featured in the series' 22nd episode, in smaller quote, Marching Out the Zombies, in smaller quote, Viz Media replaced Yumichika's iconic line with the more social media acceptable quote, I know you're trying to hide it, but it's so obvious, unquote. Further, not only did they make this change to the episode subtitles, but Viz Media also got Yumichika's voice actor, Jun Fukuyama, to record the line for the episode's international release. Um, Per Bleach YouTuber at James Hansen, the dialogue featured in the Japanese version of the episode is consistent with Kubo's original dialogue. Later on in the episode, Viz Media would make a similarly censorious change to Giselle's recollection of her experience in turning her Stern Ritter partner, Bambietta Basterbine, into one of her puppets. As seen in the Colored Manga Translation Squad's translation of the moment, in the manga, after reminiscing to the defeated Ikaku and Yumichika about her taking control of Bambi, Giselle asserts, quote, I remember Bambi-chan's face when I did it. That face made me so wet. Oh boy. And while this line stays accurate in the Japanese release, per another clip shared by James Hansen, Viz Media replaces it in the international version with the more vague quote, I got me so excited, though unlike the previous line of dialogue, the same voice actor recording regarding Giselle's pleasure is used for both releases. Japanese version, Disney version. Notably, these changes to the Bleach Thousand Year Blood War anime's version of events appears to follow from the similar changes Viz Media made to their 2014 localization of the relevant manga chapters. In terms of Yumachika's chapter 599 revelation to Giselle, its official English release replaces his original statement with, quote, I know you're trying to hide it, but I can tell you're a man from your smell. Okay. Granted, not quite as hilarious as you stink of semen, but I guess it works. I guess in more of a PG manner, I guess. I know women who stink of semen. Can we play the clips? I usually won't play the clips because just you know, I'd rather not run the risk of getting busted, just in case. So the edit flies directly in the face of Disney Japan head of animation Takuto Yawata's promise to attendees of the company's Anime Japan 2022 business seminar that in throwing their hat into the anime streaming game, fans can rest assured the House of Mouse would not be, quote, influencing creators to fit the traditional Disney brand, unquote. Which I guess was a bit of a lie, according to this. Quote, we deeply respect the works of Japanese creators and we will transmit them overseas just the way they are, unquote. He added per a recap of his appearance provided by Anime News Network. As of this writing, neither Disney, Hulu, nor Viz Media have offered comment on the censored dialogue in Bleach Thousand Year Blood War. All right. Oh, there we go with that one. Let's see. And we're going to head right into the next article we're going to look at tonight. And we're going to focus on anime tonight, as it were. Ah. Let's see now. My Hero Academia, UA Heroes Battle, officially announced Crunchyroll to host worldwide premiere at New York Comic Con. Article by Nerdigans Inc. Published yesterday, the 18th. So here we go. Coming off the recent announcement of My Hero Academia's fourth movie, Shueisha unveiled the franchise's eighth OVA, UA Heroes Battle. Unlike the majority of OVAs, however, UA Heroes Battle will have a special Japanese theatrical release alongside the final 3 episodes of My Hero Academia Season 6. Shueisha announced My Hero Academia's 8th original video animation, or OVA as it's known, UA Heroes Battle, on the franchise's official website. Produced by Studio Bones and based on the manga by Kohei Horikoshi, um, the events of UA Heroes Battle is chronologically set during the winter break prior to My Hero Academia's 5th season's Endeavor Office intern arc. All right. The franchise's latest 87-minute OVA revolves around a card game developed by UA's support students called UA Heroes Battle. Um, to entertain the lockdown heroes of Class 1A, third year Class 1B student Miriro Togata, who is voiced in the Japanese by Torusuke Shingaki, who provided the voice of Nathaniel Hawthorne in Bungo Stray Dogs, brings a deck of the aforementioned UA Heroes Battle cards, Class 1A's dorms, where they will engage in an intense card game. That guy looks like a blonde version of Silent from Pokemon Black and White. Prior to its Japanese theatrical release, Crunchyroll announced the streaming platform will host an exclusive world premiere of UA Battles Hero English dub at the New York Comic Con Empire stage on October 13th at 5 p.m. Pacific. New York Comic Con, which would be 8 p.m. Eastern, New York Comic Con attendees also receive limited edition My Hero Academia player cards. Oh, here's the in Japanese theaters, UA Heroes Battle, in quotes, will be screened alongside the conclusion of the Dark Hero arc from Kohei Horikoshi's manga, spanning from episodes 136 to 138. Izuku Midoriya's, voiced in Japanese by Daiki Yamashita, who provided the voice of Akira in Rebuild World, exhaustion from constantly using One for All to save anyone he can has caused him to take a more monstrous appearance, and he faces off against the very friends, Class 1A, he left behind to protect. Wow, talk about a power taking over your body, huh? And comes back to the old adage from the Marvel universe: with great power comes great responsibility, right? Let's see now. We're at 24 minutes here, so. Fans attending the Japanese special theatrical screening will receive a two postcard set consisting of UA Heroes Battle key visual, 2006's key visual for Deku Come Back to Us, Deku Modokoi. quote, UA Heroes Battle, unquote, will be screened in 10 Japanese theaters from October 20th to October 26th, 2023. And Crunchyroll plans to announce when My Hero Academia's 8th OVA will be available at a later date. All right, so there we go with that one. Alrighty then. So we have at least one more article here to go through.
Actor.
Warner Brothers Japan to celebrate 40th anniversary of Fist of the North Star, Hokuto no Ken, with brand new anime adaptation. Article by Nerdigans Inc., published September 18, 2023, which was yesterday. Anime and manga sections. It's been 15 years since The Wasteland's Protector last took to the small screen in Fist of the North Star, The Legends of the True Savior, Zero, Legend of Kenshiro. But thanks to Warner Brothers Japan, it appears Kenshiro will soon be returning to fight against the evils of the post-apocalyptic wastelands once more. Announced on September 13th, otherwise known in Japan as Hokuto no Ken Day in honor of original manga's first publication date, the series will reportedly be a completely new adaptation of writer and artist duo Tetsuo Hara and Baronson's seminal manga, replete with voice actors brand new to the franchise. Speaking in celebration of the announcement, the aforementioned Baronson declared, translated via Crunchyroll, quote, a work from 40 years ago will be reborn as an animated work, unquote. All right. Quote, I took a step back from animation at the time since it is a little different from manga, unquote. He continued, quote, now animation and movie technology has evolved tremendously. How will that cook up Fist of the North Star, Hokuto no Ken? Moreover, the principle of new anime production is to depict the original work with great care. I am so looking forward to it. My work, which has been loved by many fans over the past 40 years, will make a comeback as an anime. I look forward to enjoy it with everybody. All right. Offering his own thoughts, Hara asserted, quote, I am grateful for a new anime project while serializing the manga series. I would never have dreamed of Fist of the North Star Hokuto no Ken to have its 40th anniversary and also to be recreated as an anime, unquote. Quote, time has passed. I was happy to hear that voice actors are reading the original manga as if to listen to the characters' voices and to visualize how they will act them out, unquote. He further expressed, unquote, or quote, I am very much looking forward to seeing how the manga that I put my heart and soul into 40 years ago will be reincarnated by the production staff who are full of love for the original work and how they will be brought to life, unquote. Making its debut in Shueisha's weekly shonen Jump on September 13, 1983, Fist of the North Star, originally titled Hokuto no Ken in Japan, is set at the end of the 20th century where an unprecedented nuclear war has left the world desolate and with little resources, which in turn has resulted in a worldwide culture of strong reign over the weak. Now, mind you, we've been hearing that for what, the past 50, 60 years? That's the whole climate change article, right? Yeah, or argument, right? The earth is dying, global warming, nuclear wars are going to kill us all, destroy our planet. And this was done in 1930, set at the end of the century here. Well, we're well into the 21st century here, and we're still not like totally obliterated. So what does that make for the accuracy of many of those prognosticators, right? All right, so moving on then to the next paragraph here. It is in this world that Kenshiro, a renowned martial artist of the Hokuto Shinken style, sets out to save his fiancée, Julia, from the man responsible for leaving him with 7 scars on his chest. The Nanto Seiken disciple, known simply as Shin. In the 40 years since the initial manga's 1983 release, the franchise had gone on to become a worldwide phenomenon, and I had to add the "on" in there because apparently they didn't type it. Launching a franchise's worth of anime, video games, and even a live-action Hollywood film adaptation. Notably, the series has even continued on in the manga form with the Hokuto Gaiden spin-off series, wherein various manga artists illustrate the solo story centered on one of Fist of North Star's main characters. Its latest installment, Fist of the North Star side story, Genius Amoeba's Another World Overlord Legend, Even If I Go to Another World, I Am a Genius. Huh? Was I mistaken by Sakura Nishiki and Nato Gohan? Is follow it I think it's it, not is. It follows the isekai parody adventures of Ambia, who, after being killed by Kenshiro, awakens to find himself in a world exactly like his own, but where magic rules over physical prowess. Interesting. Taking a character from a physical, from a world where emphasis is on physical power, putting him on a world where the emphasis is on magical power. Interesting. Warner Brothers Japan's upcoming project will mark the 4th time the fist-filled exploits of Kenshiro has been adapted to animation. The first was, of course, Toei Animation's original anime, broadcast in 2 parts, the first consisting of 109 episodes and the second of 143 from October 1984 to February 1988. The series was so massively popular that it not only served as many's first introduction to Fist of the North Star, but also an eponymous 1986 film. Now, mind you, that first series has been shown a few times, like on Sci-Fi Network and cable stations here, but I think only like the first, I don't know, 40, 60 episodes is actually dubbed. Um, Worked on by the same team behind the anime, the film features an alternate retelling of the manga's first few arcs, with events rearranged but all the blood kept intact. Next up was New Fist of the North Star, or Shin Hokuto no Ken, a three-part OVA produced in 200 by 200. It should probably be 2000 by the OB Planning subsidiary of a certain scientific accelerator, 2019 animation studio, ACGT, and helmed by Slayer's director, Takashi Watanabe. Huh. Based on Baronson's and Hara's 1996 novel, Fist of the North Star, The Cursed City, the OVA trilogy takes place after the events of the original manga and finds Kenshiro interceding against the plans of a man named Sanga to control every last drop of the region's local water supply. Finally, in 2006, TMS Entertainment produced Fist of the North Star: The Legends of the True Savior. Consisting of 3 movies and 2 OVAs, the series tells another smaller quote reimagining of Kenshiro's original adventures. This time mixing up some events, adding details, and even introducing brand new characters. So somewhat more expanding the story, it would sound like. As of this writing, Warner Brothers Japan has not confirmed a release date of which streaming platform Fist of the North Star, Hokuto no Ken, will be hosted on. Alrighty then, so there we go with that one. Let's see what time it is now. Let's see. We're at 38 minutes here. Let me see. Was one more story I was thinking of maybe getting to if there was time. Um, shall I do it or be another anime manga story? Actually, this one I should probably say till tomorrow because it's going to be a little. It's probably going to be a little bit more controversy with it as a discussion. So yeah, so I think that'll be enough. The articles for tonight. Move on to the wrestling wrap up here. Let's see now. Okay, so in terms of WWE news, Of course, there's still a lot of news surrounding Jade Cargill, whether or not she has officially signed with the WWE or not, whether she's still with AEW. Basically, her profile has been taken off the AEW roster, so I think it is pretty clear that she is with WWE. Among the things going on last night's Raw, of course, Becky Lynch defended the NXT title against Natalya. This was supposedly changed initially. It was supposed to be Tegan Knox. It was supposed to be getting title shot, but they decided to give it to Natalya to reward her for all of her work. Anyway, give me a moment, folks, because I do need to step away from the computer for a moment to make some lighting adjustments here. So what I will do is I'll turn on some music. And I'll be right back. Yeah, aside from the fact that we'll be doing our next historical comic retrospect this Friday will be the official start of spring, not spring, fall. And of course, the sun is setting at a weird time right now where I've got to take a moment to actually turn on the light in my room here during the show. So with that, let's continue to talk a little bit more about what's going on. So basically, as the WWE continues to prepare for Fastlane, a big news right now in WWE is that Jade Cargill, it's only a matter of time when she'll actually debut on the WWE roster. Which show she's going to is yet to know. And as we were talking yesterday with some of it, of course, she was brought in with more money than would normally be a new hire, which means that they're expecting big things from her. There's been a lot of talk about her maybe spending some time in NXT first to hone her in-ring skills a little bit more, and then bring her up to the main roster. But with the investment they put in her they're going to look to really push her right off the bat. So we'll just have to wait and see how all that pans out. So with that, also in AEW news, of course, tomorrow night on Dynamite, of course, they're going to have tomorrow night's Dynamite. They're going to have, I believe, 5 matches. 4 of those 5 matches are going to be title matches from Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York City. The main event is going to see MJF defending the AEW World Title against Samoa Joe, who is the current reigning Ring of Honor World Television Champion. Saraya will be defending the women's AEW World Women's Championship against former Outcast mate Toni Storm. Jon Moxley defends the international title against Rey Fenix. And in the fourth and final match, the title versus title match, as Claudio Castagnoli puts up the Ring of Honor World Title against Eddie Kingston's New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight title. Winner coming out of that match will have 2 titles. And in the non-title match of the 5, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara look to settle their issues so they can prepare to go after the tag titles held currently by FTR. So with that, okay, so now that we've had all that out of the way, now it's time to start winding things down a bit here. Today is Today is Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. So let's take a look back at this day in each history. History! 1963. All right, so first off, heading back 60 years ago today. On this date, 60 years ago today, the Flintstones episode Hanna-Barbara Presents his first broadcast on this date 60 years ago today. Guest starring, of course, the voice for the caricature of the voice guest starring Anne Margaret, who was a famous actress at that point in time, and she's still alive, by the way. She's like 83 years old, I think. So she was like probably 23 at this point. But so 60 years ago today, the Flintstones episode Hanna-Barbara Presents, guest starring Hollywood actress Anne Margaret, was first broadcast on this date back in 1963 on ABC, I believe. Moving on to the next piece of niche history here. On this date in 2008, CMLL, Consuelo Mundial de Lucha Libre, or translated as World Wrestling Council of Mexico, held its 75th anniversary show on this date back in 2008 from the Arena Mexico in Mexico City, Mexico. The main event saw a mask versus mask match between Villano 4 and Blue Panther, in which Blue Panther lost and therefore lost his mask. So on this date, 15 years ago today, the 75th anniversary of CMLL, and it's still going today, so it's like 90 today. It would be having its 90th anniversary this year. But on this day, 15 years ago, 2008, CMLL held its 75th anniversary. Main event saw Villano Cuatro defeat Blue Panther in a mask versus mask match in which Blue Panther lost his mask. Another notable match that happened was CMLL World Trios champions Atlantis, Negro Casas, and Ultimo Guerrero retained the World Trios titles over Impact Wrestling's trio of Sanjay Dutt and Motor City Machine Guns of Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. So on this date, 15 years ago today, the 75th anniversary show for CMLL in Arena, Mexico, in Mexico City, Mexico. And finally, on this date, 5 years ago today, the 10th issue of Quantum and Woody went on sale on newsstands from Valiant Comics. It sold for $3.99 for 32 pages. No title. It was written by Elliot Rahal with art by Joe Yzma, lettering done by David Sharp, and Andrew Dollhouse doing the coloring. So on this date, 5 years ago today, the 10th issue of Quantum and Woody from Valiant went on sale on newsstands. So with that, I thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I'll be back here tomorrow with more niche news. Hopefully by the end of tomorrow, we really will get caught up and be all the way up to the actual date. I know last week we were like still a day behind, but hopefully by tomorrow we'll be pretty much all caught up, like completely caught up. And a bit of channel news, of course, here. I'm now up I've now reached a new high of 198 subscribers. So hopefully pretty soon I'll be at 200 subscribers. They say that's the hardest number to hit, your first 200. So hopefully we'll get there soon. This past week, of course, I've gotten the past few days here. I've got 6 new subscribers, so that's nice and cool. Of course, don't forget, we'll be, as I said, we'll be back here with more Neat News tomorrow. Also, on Friday, the Metal from Vomitorium will be joining me as we look back, continue our look back to December 1939 to look at comics that went on sale back then. Focusing in on comics that went on sale from what would eventually become Harvey Comics. We'll be looking at Speed Comics Volume 1, Number 5, and Champion Comics Volume 1, Number 4. So, with that, I thank everybody for being here. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. And with that, I will see everybody back here tomorrow. Bye.